This is how my table looked after I finished cutting out all that vinyl and weeding it. Um, it just turned into a debacle, and I just don't recommend doing yours this way. But I wanted you to see that this is the real behind the scenes. This is how it looks when it's finished. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. We are still in our glitter vinyl era. I am going to be using a combination of Caesar Glitter HTV and Caesar Brick vinyl. I made these two shirts and I'm very excited to share the process with you. This one is a combination of Caesar Brick and just regular Caesar Easy Weed. This one, on the other hand, is all Caesar glitter vinyl. I love the way both of them turned out, and I am going to do my very, very best to take you step by step through this tutorial. Make sure you stay all the way to the end because I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I learned about myself during this process and things that I want you to avoid if you are planning to follow this same process. At the end of this video, if you find it helpful, please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's look at the materials and then head over to Cricut Design Space. The materials I'm using for this project include my Cricut Maker. I'll use multiple Cricut mats. I'm using two black Gildan shirts. Both of them are cotton. I'll use my Cricut weeding tool. I'm using 3 colors of Caesar glitter vinyl, glitter HTV, the silver, white, and this maroon-ish color. All of the vinyl will be linked below the video. I'm also using Caesar brick in white, Caesar brick in gray, and then I'll use just a regular Caesar HTV in this maroonish color. I'll use that heat press back there. That is a 16 by 20 auto open wallet press that I purchased from Heat Transfer Warehouse. All of the designs that I create will be created in Cricut Design Space. The font that I'm using was downloaded from thefont.com. It's called Academy Filled In. Now, without further ado, let's head over to the computer and into Cricut Design Space. I am in Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I'll do is a search in my images for a tiger face. Okay, I'm going to select this tiger right here, and then I'll close the search out. As you can see, when the tiger comes in, it is already quite big. It comes in at 11.3 by 11.5. I'm not going to resize it just yet. What I am going to do is bring the view down on my screen from 100% to right at about 50%. I will duplicate the tiger just in case I make a mistake, and I'll have one just waiting so I don't have to do another search. So I just turned the second one off. Now, with this tiger selected, I have one here to start working with. What I'm going to do now is go back to over here to this left panel. I'm going to do a search for shapes. I'm selecting this square, and you might be wondering why don't I just select the line, because I'm going to change this square into a line. The reason why I'm not selecting this line, the score line, is because it will have dashes in it the longer I make it, and I need to have a solid line. So I'm going to click right here on this square and then close out this search again. What I'll do with the square is click right here to unlock the proportions. And what I want is my square to be taller than the tiger. Okay, so right now I remember that the height of the tiger is 11.5 inches. So for the square, I'm just going to change the height to just right at 13 inches. Okay, so I unlocked it and I'm only changing the height to 13.0. I'm changing the width to 0.05. Okay, because I just want to have a solid line. What I'm going to do now is just change the color of this line to, I'm just going to change it to red, okay? What I'll do with the line is just put it over here on top of the tiger's face, and I will select the tiger and the line, and I will click the option to align and center horizontally. Okay, so now the line is directly in the center of the tiger's face. Now, what I'm going to do is come back over here to my layers panel, and with the line selected, now I know it says that it's a square. That's because it initially started out as a square. What I'm going to do with the proportions still unlocked, now I'm only changing the width. I'm just going to start to increase the width of that line until it's completely covering half of the tiger's face. Okay, I'm just continuing to click. I think I went all the way over to 7 inches just to be on the safe side. Okay, so now I have half of the tiger's face completely covered. I'm selecting the tiger and the square. You can see it in my layers panel that I have 2 objects selected. With both of these selected, I'm going to click the option to slice. Okay, once I do that, I have half of the tiger's face right here. I have a red layer of the face, and I also have this red layer. This red layer and this black layer, these are the exact same. So what I'm going to do with this red layer is just delete it. I'm keeping this black layer, and I'm also going to keep this red layer that has the rectangle around it. I'm going to turn this left side, I'm just going to turn it off. I can delete it or turn it off. I'm just choosing the option to turn it off. Now the view on my screen is still at 50%. I'm going to bring this layer down here, and I'm also going to bring this layer up here. What I'm going to do with this bottom layer is start to contour it, because I want to keep parts of this layer in order to merge it with another part of this face. So with this bottom layer selected, you can see what's selected from my layers panel. I'm going to click the option to contour it. The reason why I have it down here is because I like to see what's happening to the file as I'm contouring. And this file is going to be easy to contour because I only want to keep everything that's not included with the rectangle piece. So I'm going to select that rectangle piece, and I'm just keeping everything else. Okay, I think this looks excellent already. See, I'll click close that out, and now I can see that I have 2 layers. So if I wanted to put this together, I can start to put it together like that. I think it's going to look great. Now when I'm layering vinyl, I really don't like to put vinyl on top of vinyl. So what I'm going to do is select both parts of this tiger. I see I have a red layer and a black layer, and I'm going back in to contour. And this time, what I'm going to contour is everything that is behind the red layer, because I actually want the red layer to be on the fabric. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to select the black layer from my layers panel, and I'm going to click contour, and everything that I see that's behind the red layer, I'm removing it. Okay, so I'm going to click here. I don't need that. I don't need this little piece. Okay, I don't need any of this, any of that. Don't need that. I don't need this. I don't need that, or that, or the eye, or this, or this. Now this red piece right here, I can't really remove it because there's nothing behind it. So that works out perfectly fine. Okay, so I think I have everything. I think that looks great. I'll close this out. So now when I look at my black layer, there's actually nothing behind. There's nothing behind my red layer. So let's watch. When I move my red layer, you'll see there's nothing behind it. See that? See how nice that looks? And I know where to layer it. It'll fit perfectly in right here. So now I'm going to select both of these and I'm going to just group it for now. And what I'm going to do is actually, let me change my black layer. I want to change it just to gray for right now. Let's change it to gray. Okay, so that looks fantastic. Okay, so now I'm just going to change the color of my canvas. I can change the color of the canvas to black, or I can go up here and grab a template. Let's grab a t-shirt template, and I'm going to change the color of the t-shirt to black. And I'm also going to change the size of the t-shirt to large. Okay, still let me change it back to black. All right, this looks great. This looks excellent. All right, so now I'm almost finished. Let's bring the view up. Let's bring it over. Okay, this looks really nice. Now I'm going to add my word tigers. All right, and I'm going to just come over here to the left and click on the T. And the font that I'm using is one that's called uh, Academy, I think. And it was downloaded from thefont.com. I'm going to just bring down the search. It's called Academy Field. Okay, I want this one right here. And I'll close this out. And I'm just going to start typing my word. So my caps lock is on. T, enter I, enter G, enter E, enter R, S, like that. Okay, and I'll bring it over here. Now I'm going to change the color of my text to white, and I'm also going to click over here on combine and weld. The reason why I want to do that is because it gives me a lot of more freedom of how I can kind of maneuver the text, which is really what I want. Let me click undo right there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is resize my text. I'm going to unlock it, and I want the height of the text to be the same height as the gray layer of my tiger. The gray layer of my tiger is right at 11.49, so I want the height of my text to be 11.49 also. And I also want to just make it a little bit wider. Okay, let's make it wider just by clicking right here. Okay, I love this. I am loving this. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is come back over here to images, and I'm going to do a search for a football, and I want the laces, laces out, Ray Finkel. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so now I am going to change the color of the laces to white. And I'm also going to do a 90-degree rotation right here. And I'll flip this horizontally like that. Now remember when I first brought the laces in, they were horizontal. So what I want to do is change the width of my laces, which will look like I'm changing the height, but only because originally the laces were not in this direction. So I'm going to unlock this, and I'm changing the height, the width, which is really the height. In this case, I'm changing it to 11.49 to match the height of my tigers. And I'm also going to change the width just a little bit, just bring it out so it kind of like hugs like that. I think this looks so good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is select everything. I'm selecting the laces, the word tigers, and then the tiger face, both colors. And I'm going to click align. And what I want to do is center this vertically like that. Okay, so now this is all lined up, and the size of my full file is right at 10.92 by 11.49, which is quite big, but I want it big. Just like this, I want this to really make a statement. Now, what I'll do is
click on my laces and I'll hold my shift key and I'll click on the word tigers. And what I want to do is attach that. So now once I get ready to click make, I'm going to have 3 layers. The tigers, which will be in white, the gray face of the tiger, and the red face of the tiger. Now I'm actually going to be using white, gray, and maroon, but I didn't really see a color that looked like maroon. Okay, so this looks excellent. I can close this out and I can click make. Okay, it's going to ask me if I want to save it. I'm just going to say, I better go ahead and save this. So let's do tigers with the laces like that. I'll click save. All right. And now Cricut will prepare me to get this cut out. So I am going to click continue. And with the newest update, once I select that I'm using glitter vinyl, all of my mats will be mirrored that are going to be using the glitter iron-on. So I'll select glitter iron-on.
Right after I selected the glitter iron-on setting, I changed the pressure to more, and I had the great idea to cut the glitter vinyl and the Caesar brick at the same time, and that really ended up being a mistake because the glitter iron-on setting with more pressure is too much pressure for the Caesar brick. If I had to do this all over again, I would have cut them separately, but hindsight is 2020. I have my 4 mats prepared. This is my Caesar glitter vinyl, and this is Caesar brick on this side. With the brick, make sure that the shiny side is what's on the mat. With the glitter vinyl, same thing. Make sure the pretty side is what's on the mat. I'm going to cut this with the glitter iron-on setting with more pressure. This is the same Caesar glitter vinyl in white, and this is the Caesar brick. And this is Caesar glitter vinyl. I'm cutting these two separately because this is just regular Caesar HTV, Caesar Easy Weed, and they don't have the same cut setting. So I'll cut these two separately. I'm going to speed this part up. Now that all of my vinyl has been cut, I'm going to speed up this part where I'm just weeding away the excess vinyl. I have my vinyl weeded. I think the glitter HTV with more pressure was too strong for the Caesar brick. If I were to do this again, I would not use that setting for brick. I would probably just use regular glitter iron-on with regular pressure, not more pressure. So I'm not going to weed the white over here. I'll weed it over at the heat press where it'll be easier to peel it back and I won't risk ripping the backing. All right, let's move over to the heat press and start with the glitter vinyl first. I have my crease down the middle of my shirt. I'm going to come down 3 finger lengths. I'm going to be careful to make sure that I line these up both vertically and horizontally because I don't want this side to be taller than this side. I kind of want them to be even. So I'm going to be very careful about how I line it up. I'm using that crease on the shirt to my advantage. Like that. And like that. That looks pretty even to me. And now I'm going to go ahead and get this pressed. I'll press both layers at the same time. Okay, so peel this off. That looks great. And peel this off. It looks excellent. And I'll get my maroon layer. Now I have my maroon layer. I'm just going to line it up. So here's the eye and there's the eye. That's the only piece of glitter that'll be on top of another piece. And that actually helps me to get this lined up straight. So that's pretty good. And I'm gonna just make sure it's in there. That looks excellent. And now I'm going to add my parchment paper and I'm going to press this for the full 25 seconds. Let's make sure. Okay, let's take a look. This is always my very favorite part. Hopefully I lined that up straight. It looks really, really good to me. It actually looks excellent. I love it. I feel like I could have did it a little bit straighter right there, but it looks great. This is the finished shirt and I love it. I love it. So this is the finished shirt and what am I going to say? I love it. I love it. I love the way this turned out, and I know that any Tigers fan would love it also. Drop down in the comments and let me know what team you will be representing when you make yours. And if you still are representing the Tigers, what color are the Tigers that you're representing? Let me know down in the comments. Hopefully you did find this helpful. If you did, remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye. The shirt with the Caesar brick did not turn out as nicely as the one with the Caesar glitter vinyl. And it's totally because I used too much pressure in the cut settings. I should have kept it on the glitter iron-on with default pressure and I wouldn't have had this problem. But as you can see, the letter I completely separated from the backing, and I was trying to be very careful to make sure none of the other letters separated like that. When it was time to start pressing, I actually pressed the white layer first. And because Caesar brick is a cold peel, I layered the gray layer, and then I peeled the backing away from the white layer. Once I pressed the gray layer, I kind of removed the shirt and let it cool down a little bit. Then I put the Caesar Easy Weed on top. So this is how this one turned out. Not as good as the Caesar glitter vinyl, but still nice. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.